how did they find you? Like, what was the search they did to narrow down to say, all right, which I believe was what, the number one party guy at a campus in the United States,
I was the number one party
right?
animal in the country.
In the country.
Like the number, they didn't do a search.
Can I say what I heard?
Yeah.
I heard that they were doing an article on the best party schools in America, and then they went to Florida State, and someone was like, "Yo, you got to go find Bert Kreischer," and they were like, "All right," and then they went and found you, and then they changed the whole article for being best party school to number one party animal, and they spent like a week with you.
Yeah, they sent it. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Jesus Christ,
that's pretty much it. I mean, that's in essence.
Now, were you doing stand up at that point?
No,
No, his life was stand up.
Right.
But I genuinely wanted to do stand up, but I just didn't know that you could.
Right.
I didn't even know that you could, or that there was a way into it. That's one of the kind of weird things that it's like, I guess I don't know what I'm trying to say, but I look up to guys like you who just decided you were funny and tried it. Because I had this, so Rolling Stone writes this article about me. It's 6.5 pages long. That's a lot of ink.
That's a ton.
Hell yeah,
especially
bro.
before reality television.
Right.
Like, I mean, that was a fucking massive article.
So wait, this dude finds you and says, "Here's who I am, and here's what I want to do," and you're like, "Just roll with me for a week."
He called. I'm writing a book right now, so I'm in the middle of writing all these stories out, and it's so funny. The truth is, he called and he had called a bunch of people at Florida State to find out someone that could be a chaperone to show him around. And everyone's like, "You got to meet Bert. You got to meet Bert. You got to meet Bert."
Okay, that's
the first five people he called said, "You got to meet Bert."
Right.
And so,
Well, how long you been at Florida State at this
at
point?
that time, probably 6 years. And
Working on your doctorate, right?
I don't even know if I declared a major yet. So, one of my old jokes was, it's time to graduate when you have less hair than your teachers. So he calls me and he calls my house and he says, "Is Bert there?"
Fraternity
and my house. It was my house, but we were getting ready to go play disc golf, frisbee golf. So it was like 10 dudes at my house. We're all taking bong hits, and he calls in, and I'm in the middle of a bong hit. And so he hands my buddy Blair answered the phone, and he goes, "It's for you. It's Rolling Stone magazine." And I was like, "Sure,
go fuck yourself."
Yeah, exactly. So I take the phone in the middle of a bong hit, like, I'm like, "Hello," and he's like, "Hi," and he does his pitch. "My name's Eric Hedegaard. I'm writing an article on Florida State, and I was wondering, I got your name from a couple of people, and I was wondering if there was a chance that sometime in November I could come stay with you." And I was like, "Okay." And then I hit it again, and he goes, "Are you in the middle of a bong hit?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Perfect." Like, he literally stepped in shit. He was like, "This is my fucking guy." So then he comes down to Florida State for a week, and I just partied. I partied a lot. But
where were you living at the time? Were you in a frat house?
Indian
or
Village.
What
it was
is
just
that?
condos.
Okay,
so you condos. Yeah. And I was living with my buddy Hutch and Blair.
Where was Starsky?
I'm
sorry, go ahead.
Hutch, oddly named. His name is still in Van Wilder.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
okay.
They kept his name. So so he stays with me for a week. We party, and then a bunch of people, obviously tell stories about me, and I definitely would venture to say the one thing that has kept true to me is that whatever behavior I have, that into 39 years old, and it still happens to this day, whatever behavior I have, it carries over, and I don't want to sound like grandiose about myself, but I am definitely the guy that does shit that the story is told about third hand. Like, I'm definitely the guy that they're like, "Oh, did you hear about the time that Bert was at the Miami Improv and he brought the girl in the green room to show him his dick when he was on stage?" Mm-hmm. Like, I definitely have always been that guy that I do shit that's a little...
You're an igniter.
Whatever it is, I don't know what it is. I'm sure a therapist have a fucking field day on me, but
yeah.
But it's like the fucking so. And I was a bunch of stories about me, like he had taken a shit on a pizza box to win an election. He had,
So what the fuck are they voting on? That is the best shit on a pizza box right there. Bert Kreischer wins this election.
Who are you going to vote for? I'm not sure. Who's that dude taking the shit on the pizza box?
Who's the one with the corn and the shit? Bert Kreischer? He's got my vote.
It was for worthy keeper of the annals. And so this kid had really proposed like a real straight up like PowerPoint presentation, and he had a suit on. And I was like, fuck this guy. And the year before, I'd run naked and lost, just naked
for the same thing,
for anything, and it was just anything that was
for anything
that was running unattested. I'd be like, fuck it, I'm gonna give him a run for his money. So I gave a speech, a real serious speech, like naked, and my whole thing was I have nothing to hide. And so then this guy Josh.
I love that it had a twist.
I know,
what I mean?
right?
He's like, I'm not just running. I got nothing to hide from
That's
y'all.
double innuendo right there. I've been here 6 years, motherfucker.
So then Josh Young runs. Josh has a suit on, and he's like, I got this in the bag. And I was like,
I got this in the ball bag.
I said to my buddy, he goes, you should run again naked. And I go, I can't, because if I did, I would shit all over the place. And he was like, do that. And then I was like, what? And he goes, just take it, shit on the pizza box. Like, I'll put it out there, and I'll go, guys, take Bert seriously this year. You come out naked. Everyone won't expect it. And I was like, perfect. So
at Florida State.
Yeah, so he gives a speech. He's like, guys, everyone thinks Bert's a screw-off, but he's getting towards the end of his tenure here at Florida State, and he wants to be taken seriously.
Tenure. He's got tenure
How long
now.
is his contract?
What do you have? He's going to be a free agent next year. Man.
I mean,
I heard franchise.
I heard the Gators are interested.
Franchise player. So I came out
getting to the end of my tenure.
You would definitely have a better laugh than I do. Your laugh is fucking a million times better than my laugh.
It is not the truth.
Fuck. So I just walked out and just stand up and just turned around to the crowd and shit on a pizza box. And the place went fucking bananas. Here's what's really crazy.
No one tackled you or
no one fucking...
Who's going to tackle him, bro?
No one's tackling
that guy.
Was there a soundtrack? Did you play any music?
No,
or just walk?
Here's the fucking funny part: is the people who were on the council from the year before I had to stand in front of them. So when I turned around, I was facing them. They didn't know what I was doing. All they saw that I was pissing. Because when you go
That's
two,
what I wanted to ask.
you also go one.
Yeah.
That's why they call it two. And so I pissed. They just thought I got up there and pissed on their feet. They're like, "What the fuck?" And they didn't see it. And then they tally the votes. They bring us both up, me and Josh. They
still allowed you in this election?
They tally the fucking votes. They run it off, and I hear them fucking grumbling. And Charlie Erdman, this guy I'll play golf with next week in Miami, says to me, he looks at me and he goes, "I'm still naked." He goes,
with shit in your ass.
No, I've wiped. And I've also cleaned up the
backstage.
Stage.
Oh, you cleaned up as well.
And he goes, "Are you serious about this?" And I was like, "What?" And he goes, "Because you fucking won." And I went, "What?" And he goes, "No one voted for the other guy." And I went, "What?" And he goes, and then I go,
"You're the new treasurer."
And he goes, "Yeah, you're the one." So he stands up and he goes, "It's a landslide. Everyone voted for Bert." And this kid Josh goes, "That's bullshit." And someone goes, "No, it's Bert shit." Fucking place goes crazy.
God.
And what were you? What did you win?
Worthy keeper of the annals. I was supposed to take notes every meeting. I never fucking took notes.
Suck this. We're dependent on a guy shit in a pizza box to take notes. Really? Okay. Just so you all know, this is who you voted in the office.
So I never kept notes. I would just write jokes for the notes of like what happened last meeting.
What the hell does worthy keeper of the animals mean?
Annals, like a annal, yeah. So that guy heard that story, and then he heard a bunch of other stories, and he was like, "Fuck it, let's make it about this kid." So then he writes the article. The article comes out. It's huge. It's like to this
Who was
day,
on the cover? Do you remember?
Beck, because I thought it was me. Like I saw Beck, and I thought it was me for a second.
You saw the BE, and you're like,
no. Yeah, and then Beck, and he looked, he's white, and I was like, nah, and I was like, I look awesome, and then I was like, oh fuck,
I have a record deal. Oh my.
How did I get so hip? Then Beck.
I mean, was your name on anywhere on the cover at all, or anything like that?
I think it's got to be right around here.
I mean, you would think.
I mean, that's fucking huge. It was
a big deal.
You're shitting in pizza boxes, and next thing you know, you got a 6-page article on Rolling fucking Stone. No,
hold on. Can you imagine how frustrating that was to every comic when I started?
Yes,
and I got a 6-figure development deal 6 months in, and they're like, "He got this for shitting on a pizza box?" Right. Like,
guy can't do 3 minutes.
Guy can't do 3 fucking minutes, and he's hanging out with Will Smith. Are you fucking kidding me? I remember Barry Katz told me, he was like, "Papa, in your situation, you want to get information, not give it."
Yeah, right.
But yeah, so Oliver Stone optioned the rights to my life, right out of college.
The rights to your life. I mean, does
this
that
company? I broad stroke it and make it sound very different.
We're big fans of hyperbole.
It reminds me of like when Kramer was selling his stories to Peterman. You know, I could just see Bert like telling a story about when he was 10, and freaking Oliver Stone's like, "Nah, man, it's mine, dog. Can't tell that shit."
Yeah.
Thanks for getting on board with that.
I'm just fascinated by, like, I'm thinking over here, what the fuck does the rights to your life mean? What does that mean? Like anything that has happened to you? Or
Anything I divulged, like under whatever contracts, they flew me out to LA a couple times. To meet with writers.
Yeah.
I'll never forget. And I hate talking like this now because the job I have now I'm a very different man than I was younger, obviously. Yeah. But I have a past I can't deny. I was fucking written up as a number one party animal. I remember being in the Argyle Hotel at the Penthouse, and there was some producer that I had met through a manager that was trying to do something, and they had a mound of cocaine. And I remember at one point going into the bathroom, getting real paranoid, going, they're trying to kill me. They want an end to this story, and they want me to die. Like, that's how this ends. And I was like,
I was very, like a shitload of cocaine.
I was
like,
freaking out. I don't do cocaine, so I don't know. But yeah. And so, Prist, you need to get the fuck out of here, honey. So, but yeah, I remember, I distinctly remember that time you just meet with writers and producers, and you just tell them the whole option was based off of, this is going to be a fucking nightmare. Why didn't Leanne let her out here? The whole premise was based on, God damn it.
Let's go this way. We got Bert's dog in here right now.
Bert's dog, about Priscilla.
120 pound?
Yeah.
120 pound bull mastiff.
Baby. Come on.
Yeah. Pris, go. So wait, okay, the dog is gone. I'm sorry. I don't have much control over her. But anyway, what I was saying was, the premise of the movie was a journalist, then this is where the option came in.
This is the premise of the Van Wilder movie.
The premise of the movie they were creating for
you
was a journalist discovers a party animal, and through their meeting, they have a connection, and they both learn something. And so the obvious connection was a young girl from New York comes to meet this party animal, and then they fall in love or whatever. So that's everyone I met with, but I was like, but I'd tell these stories about about college, and they'd lose their fucking mind, and they'd be like, I don't want to do it about that, but that's what the premise was. And then when Will discovered me, I was in the middle of, the deal with Oliver Stone, Oliver Stone's company. I don't even know if Oliver Stone ever knew who I was, because I'm going to end on that. I'm going to bookend on that. So, and Will was like, listen, if you're going to make a movie with this guy, because I just purchased the real rights to his life. Like, I paid money for it. I paid, like, a lot of money. He needs to star in the movie. And Oliver's like, his company's like, that's not going to fucking happen. And so then CIA kiboshed it.
Could you imagine how much people would hate you then?
Oh, you would have been so fucking hated.
No fucking idea. So anyway, I'm doing Good Morning America 2 weeks ago and 3 weeks ago. And I'm in the elevator. When you do that show, as you guys I'm sure know.
He said,
yeah, I just said that.
Oh, yeah. Every time I'm on GMA, I know.
They had me guess do the weather one time. I did the weather.
I can get that in. I can make that happen. I'm good friends with Sam Champion. So I go into the elevator, and you usually have like two people from GMA with you. You have like a couple publicists, maybe an agent. So I'm like my 5 people with me, and we go into the elevator, and the guy's panicked, and he goes, we need to wait for Oliver Stone. And I was like, hold on, Oliver Stone's on this show? And he goes, yes, and we are waiting for him. And I was like, the fuck, yes, we are. Because I know what I want to say to him. I want to say, first of all, obviously, big fan of your work. I'm a huge fan. And then I want to say, the reason I'm in this elevator, the reason I'm working at all is because your company purchased the rights to my life when I got to say that. So those are my 2 things. Now, it's a 1-story elevator ride, so I'm trying to like fucking jam it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got to get over there quick.
Yeah. And he's rushing him. So like there's no holding him back because he's the next tease to the next segment. They need him on the couch. So all of a sudden, I see the guy from the elevator come in, and Oliver Stone comes in, and I jump right on top of it. I go, Oliver Stone, my name is Bert Kreischer. I just want to tell you I'm a huge fan. I'm a big fan of your work. And he goes, thank you very much. I genuinely appreciate that. And as I go to say my second sentence, his handler, his like chick that runs him, goes, oh my God, it's Bert fucking Kreischer. And I went, oh my God, please say you know me. And she's like, my family loves you. You're fucking hilarious. We watched Bert the Conqueror. We're watching your new show. I love your stand-up. Oh my God, Oliver, it's Bert Kreischer. And Oliver Stone is so confused. He's like, oh, okay. So then in my head, you know how
he's like, what's cable TV?
What? Cable, huh? How does that work?
New shit, right?
So I want to jump in with my next sentence, but have you ever like been one of those moments where you're like, I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to end on a high note. I'm going to George Costanza it and be like, it's a pleasure meeting you, Oliver. And he was like, it's a pleasure meeting you. I can't wait to see your work. And he walks out, and I was like, fuck, literally, doors open, he walks out, and my whole little handling crew, mouths open, and they're looking at me, and we all just start fist pumping like, fuck you! Greatest moment I could have ever had. And I didn't get to share it, but I was like, you know what? I said to, this is how my brain works. I was like, one day we'll be smoking hash, like 20 miles outside of Cuba, fishing.
Like it's 20 miles out of Cuba.
Yeah. And I'll go, Oliver, man, just so you know, the reason I'm here right now is because of you. And he'll be like, shut the fuck up. Like, I believe in those moments. I believe those moments will happen.
You know what? I think it's good that you believe because I might as well just say it. Oliver Stone's a big fan of the Crabfeast.
Huge.
He listens every week.
God damn it, Priscilla! Okay, the dog's back, everybody. Leanne apparently has no fucking clue. He's not. Rob Oliver Stone obviously does not listen to the Crabfeast.
Yeah, he does.
What do you mean, obviously?